In the age of media boom, each of us possesses virtually unlimited access to online sources of information. Now more than ever, competing news sources vie for our attention and consumption. Because of this, we must remain vigilant and critical of the information thrust in our faces each day. Whether the outlet is a social media platform, a news posting, or even published academia, we must conduct our consumption with a healthy skepticism. To be better media consumers, we must analyze our sources with three key practices: understand motivations of both media producers and consumers, check the facts, and converse openly with those you trust. To embark on our journey of media consumption, we must first recognize the complex relationship between media producers and their consumers, aka you and I. This recognition informs our understanding of the limited scope of media outlets. Whether we like it or not, we must remain cognizant of the capitalist structure in which media conglomerates operate. Media companies are not simply altruistic providers of global news, but rather corporations with key economic interests on the information we click, read, share, and digest daily. Dramatic stories, flashing headlines, and polarizing plots make conglomerates more money. Thus, we must not fall prey to the clickbait phenomenon utilized to lure us in. This brings me to my next point about understanding our own motivations as media consumers as well. We must remain acutely aware of our own biases and preconceptions. What information are we truly looking for, and why are we seeking it? Knowing this can keep us from entering the media traps of confirmation bias and online echo chambers. Now, I can guess what you may be thinking. How can we trust any media source with economic interests in our own consumption? While this phenomenon does remain ubiquitous in this online era, there are still smart and practical ways in which we can remain informed and aware of present news, despite these conflicting relationships. This comes through the second key practice mentioned earlier of checking the facts. Be smart. Do not assume the information you read is fact or reliable in nature just because they dress it up with lofty vocabulary and complex concepts. Research your source and understand their background, academic credentials, and journalistic integrity. Here I have attached some university recommended sites to aid your investigations in this way. They include a detailed composition of media companies, their top chairs, and outlets they manage. They also include the links to fact-checking sites with high-caliber international reputations. Do not be afraid to vet your sources through these sites and discard those which lack the proper credibility for which you should be looking. Finally, I encourage you not to sit on the information which you consume from these media sources. Maximize this final key practice and share openly with those whose critical perspectives you trust. Media can be overwhelming, confusing, or disillusioning, so it remains of the utmost importance to utilize the resources in our community networks and social circles to integrate our diverse understandings. As college students, we have the privilege of regular access to such open networks right here at WVU, so I strongly encourage you to use them for this advantage. Engage in civil discourse with professors, academic peers, and close friends. Utilize each other's conflicting rhetorical analyses for shared benefit. Sharpen your media critiques and acknowledge the cross sections of your interpretations. Not only will this strengthen your ability to effectively and critically consume media each day, but it may also provide you social solace in open lines of communication and normalize your reactions to the world around you. These days, we certainly live in a convoluted and overwhelming web of media. Thus, we must rely on these three key practices to remain critical, healthy, and balanced in our information consumption. So remember, understand motivations, check the facts, and open up the conversation with those you trust. Let these three easy tools empower and educate you every day to stay properly informed about the current global situation. Stay curious, but stay critical too.